you, thank you, thank you. Um, I recently went to the Edinburgh Fringe. Thank you very much. And and I traveled to the Scottish Highlands after the Fringe run, and I witnessed a historic event. Okay, I was on a tour bus, and in the first and only time in the history of time, in that bus, Indians were outnumbered by Canadians. There were 5 Indians and 15 Canadians, and I was like, what? The entire country has just left to visit Scotland. Obviously, the bus ride was very quiet. Yeah, you guys are close to America, but I guess not that close. So, so the other 4 Indians, who were an elderly lot, were coaxing me to tell jokes in a sleepy bus. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. And then one of them, a woman in her 60s, asked me, do you do adult comedy? Is that why? I should have told her free sex, but yeah. I was like, yeah, I do adult comedy. Yeah, actually that little conversation made me feel embarrassed. And I wrote one clean joke after ages that I'm going to tell you now. So you guys know about gap years, right? I mean, in the West, it's so popular. You guys take a year off after school or college and travel the world to find your soul. And strangely, you find it usually in dirty hostels doing cheap drugs with dodgy strangers. And then you come back home as mini heroes, right? In India, on the other hand, if you take a gap year, let's say between school and college, it means you have failed the exam and your parents cannot go to any social event for an entire year. If you take a gap year between college and job, it's worse, way worse. It means you have failed multiple interviews and campus placements. Your mom will now have to be creative and make up stories about how unjust employers are, not to see your brilliance. And if you take a gap year between 2 jobs, God forbid, you are an official loser. Yeah, your parents don't talk about you anymore, all right? Your market value plummets to below zero, similar to the temperature drop any room witnesses as you enter it. And you're never gonna get married. It's a scar that doesn't leave you for life. All right, so that's the clean joke. Since I've got it out of the system, let's get to the Well, 2 months ago, I celebrated my birthday. Woo! 3 whoops, 4, one clap is the right response because I turned old. I know I don't look old, which is a bummer because no one leaves their seats on a bus for me. But I feel old and friends help. Recently, my friend was visiting and she saw my underwear drying on the balcony and she was like, wow, some vintage collection you got there. Are these heirloom panties? Like, did your great grandmom pass them on to you? I was like, no, bitch. I got them from my mom. And she got them from her mom. And she got them from hers. Anyway, I protested, okay? I said, hey, some of them are lacy. And she said, yeah, that's lace from 1976. Asbestos was still cool. No one knew it caused cancer. You could wear sequin bell bottoms and no one thought you were getting ready for a gay parade. You could also smoke in an airplane because it was good for those with peanut allergies. So yeah, I haven't kept up with the evolution of lingerie, and also because I'm old, I need a reading glass. I mean, this is not a prop. I really need a reading glass, okay? which is annoying as fuck. Ladies will relate, especially when I'm trying to shave down there. Yeah, it's like trying to mow a lawn without knowing where the flower is. You make one mistake and there's blood all over the flower bed, and your sex life is ruined for the next 3-4 days, right? I don't have one. I mean sex life, not flower. Also, because I cannot take my reading glasses to shower, I tend to make mistakes in the messages I tend to leave down there for my lovers. I'll explain. I mean, I like to be with younger guys because they have great eyesight. But they are always in rush, right? So I tend to leave messages for them like, slow down. It's a happy meal. Savor it. There's a toy in the end. You won't get it if you choke on your meal. But recently I was with a guy my age, which you'll never know, by the way. And he asked, honey, why have you written crappy meal? And I was like, this isn't working. I either need to buy those expensive pair of reading glasses that come with wipers so I can take them to shower, or I need to leave additional messages for my older lovers, like, take your reading glasses off. You shouldn't be reading these. I recently got diagnosed with urticaria. Very sexy name for a disease. It's hives for you all ignorant people. The doctor told me it's an autoimmune disease, which got me really excited because I thought I got automatically immune to something, but that's not the case. My body is basically, under stress, and it's revolting against its own cells. So my friends were telling me that, hey, you got to love your body more. You got to tell her that you love her. And I'm like, I follow what I like to call the 2M rule. I meditate and masturbate every single day. Usually at the same time. That's self-love 101. I don't know what more to do. But I did have a chat with my body after the diagnosis, and I was like, girl, there's a limit to this. Stop acting so precious. And my body was like, bitch, you sound like Dave. Dave's my ex. Then I remembered Dave used to say this every time he couldn't make me come, which was every time we were having sex. But Dave had promised, okay? He had a job and he was also splitting the housework. So I tried to help him. I wrote a book for him, a user manual, 156 ways to make a girl come. Then one day I took him out for a walk and I broached the subject lightly. I was like, babe, I've got a user manual for you. Would you read it? And he said, yeah, I love user manuals. I've read one. I was like, oh yeah, which one? He said, Bible. 10 steps of how to go to heaven. I was like, wow, Dave is fully in. So I probed a little, like, but babe, did you notice that Bible has nails, chains, whip, red wine? He was as unsure as you guys are as to where this is going, but I kept on going, right? I said, Bible also has a ripped dude getting nailed in a dungeon for 3 nights by burly men wearing kinky outfits. This is when Dave started running away from me. But I started chasing him and I was shouting at the top of my voice, babe, it's a user manual, all right, but for BDSM. You don't believe me? It even has a second coming. I never saw him again, but I hope to see you guys again. And that's my time for you. Thank you so much.